Stand for the presentation of the colors by our Team Osan Honor Guard, the singing of the Korean and United States national anthems by the Hill 180 Singers, and the invocation by Chaplain Che.
Forward, palm. Forward, heart. Reset. Pumps.
동해 물과 백두산이 마르고 닳도록 하느님이 보호하사 우리나라 만세. 무궁화 삼천리 와려강산 대한사람 대한으로 길이 보전하세. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Or pumps. Colors. Colors turn. March.
Please stand at ease and join me in prayer. Gracious and loving God, we stand before you this day recognizing you as the creator of every good and perfect gift. And we are truly grateful for this occasion as we recognize and congratulate those who have been nominated for the Team Osan Quarterly Awards. We congratulate all the nominees who have demonstrated dedicated service, hard work, and outstanding achievement to the Osan Air Base. And we take pride in recognizing those who go above and beyond what is normally expected of them. We also recognize the support system of dedicated leaders, supervisors, co-workers, friends, and families who have made this possible. and may their accomplishments inspire every one of us to meet the challenges and opportunities that are set before us each and every day. And bless us now in this time of celebration as we give you all the glory and honor that you alone deserve. In your precious and holy name, we offer up this prayer. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Thank you, Chaplain Che, the Hill 180 Singers, and the Team Osan Honor Guard.
Good morning. I'm Airman First Class Catherine Winterwisser, representing the 731st Air Mobility Squadron.
And I am Master Sergeant Brandon Hutchins, representing the 731st Air Mobility Squadron. On behalf of the 731st Air Mobility Squadron Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Burke, we welcome you to the Team Osan Quarterly Awards.
Before we begin, please allow us to introduce our distinguished guests.
The Vice Commander, 51st Fighter Wing, Colonel Brian Carr. The 7th Air Force Chief of Staff, Colonel Chris Kotz.
The 7th Air Force Command Chief, Chief Master Sergeant Shalina Fry.
The Command Chief, 51st Fighter Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Terrence Green.
The Deputy Commander, 51st Operations Group, Lieutenant Colonel Garrett Lowe.
The Commander, 51st Mission Support Group, Colonel Carl Meisner.
The Commander, 51st Maintenance Group, Colonel Victor Mora, accompanied by his spouse, Linda.
The Commander, 51st Medical Group, Colonel David Cockrum, accompanied by his spouse, Scott.
The Commander, 694th Intelligence Reconnaissance Surveillance Group, Colonel Andrew Torelli.
Our host, the 731st Air Mobility Squadron Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Alan Burke. And the 731st Air Mobility Squadron Superintendent, Chief Master Sergeant Dwight Tucker.
We would also like to extend a special welcome to all squadron commanders, chiefs, sergeant majors, first sergeants, supervisors, family members, and the men and women of Team Osan. We are honored to have you with us today.
It is now time to introduce our Team Osan fourth quarter nominees in their respective categories. Lieutenant Colonel Burke and Chief Master Sergeant Tucker, please come forward for the presentation of the awards.
These nominees represent their units in Osan with pride, dedication, and enthusiasm. They have clearly shown they are the best of the best in the performance of their duties and throughout the community. Nominees, as your names are called, please stand to be recognized and remain standing until all nominees in your category have been announced.
It is our pleasure to present the nominees for the Civilian of the Quarter, Category 1, Trades, Crafts, and Laborer. From the 731st Air Mobility Squadron, Mr. Yang Chung Pak.
And from the 51st Fighter Wing, Mr. Chong Yu Han. Ladies and gentlemen, our Team Osan nominees for the Civilian of the Quarter in the Trades, Crafts, Laborer category. Nominees, please be seated.
The winner of the Team Osan Category 1 Trades, Crafts, Laborer from the 51st Fighter Wing, Mr. Chung Hu Han. Mr. Han is a firefighter with the 51st Fighter Wings Civil Engineering Squadron. During this period, he battled an intense acetylene fire, saving the lives of 2 contractors. In addition, Mr. Han rallied 25 volunteers to serve 334 meals at 10 area soup kitchens. Finally, he responded to an elevator emergency in housing, rescuing 7 personnel, mitigating additional injuries, and saving a $105,000 asset. Ladies and gentlemen, our Team Osan Category 1 Civilian of the Quarter.
Our nominees for Civilian of the Quarter, Category 2, Administration and Technical Specialist. From the 731st Air Mobility Squadron, Mr. Song Pak Yi.
And from the 51st Fighter Wing, Miss Chung A. Pak. Ladies and gentlemen, our Team Osan nominees for Category 2, Administration and Technical Specialist. Nominees, please be seated.
The winner of the Team Osan Category 2 Administration and Technical Specialist. From the 51st Fighter Wing, Ms. Chung A. Pak. Ms. Pak is the language specialist for the 51st Fighter Wing's Chaplains Corps. During this period, she led OSAN's non-U.S. citizen premarital program, ensuring a bright future for 78 couples. Additionally, Ms. Pak led 121 volunteers collecting 1,000 pounds of clothes for 200 children. Finally, this community hero was key in the total support of 4 mother and child refugee outreaches, contributing to 1,000 raised for families. Ladies and gentlemen, our Team Osan Category 2 Civilian of the Quarter.
Our Team Osan categories nominees for the Civilian of the Quarter Category 3, Manager, Supervisor, Professional Specialist.
From the 731st Air Mobility Squadron, Mr. Richard A. Pollock.
From the 51st Fighter Wing, Mr. Charles Washington.
From 7th Air Force, Mr. Dylan J. Foley.
And from the 694th Intelligence Support Squadron, Mr. Thomas J. Linehan.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Team Osan nominees for the Civilian of the Quarter and the Manager, Supervisor, Professional category. Nominees, please be seated.
The winner of the Team Osan Category 3 Manager, Supervisor, and Professional category is from the 7th Air Force, Mr. Thomas J. Linehan. Mr. Linehan is an Information Assurance Chief for the 694th Intelligence Support Squadron. He was selected as a winner for #1 Cyberspace Civilian in 25th Air Force. Additionally, he led Information Assurance Vulnerability Management, coordinating 105 system scans and directing 360 corrective actions, leading to 0 enemy intrusions. Finally, he aided 3,600 families and served 20,000 meals at a local soup kitchen and shelter. Ladies and gentlemen, our Team Osan Category 3 Civilian of the Quarter.
Our nominees for the Team Osan Company Grade Officer of the Quarter. From the 731st Air Mobility Squadron, Captain Sarah E. Bennett.
From the 7th Air Force, First Lieutenant Ian A. Trott.
From the 51st Fighter Wing, Captain Jason S. Henderson.
From the 303rd Intelligence Squadron, Captain Gregory L. Stein.
And from Detachment 2, 18th Intelligence Squadron, 2nd Lieutenant Matthew J. Downey.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Team Osan nominees for the Company Grade Officer of the Quarter. Nominees, please be seated.
The winner of the Team Osan Company Grade Officer of the Quarter is, from 7th Air Force, First Lieutenant Ian A. Trott.
I'm not Lieutenant Trott.
First Lieutenant Trott is the Chief of Installation Management. During this period, he managed $2 billion Republic of Korea funded construction program enabling 60 projects in support of critical mission requirements. Additionally, he drove 7th Air Force's largest construction program to date, securing $1.4 billion for calendar year 2014 through 2016, cementing 35 projects. Finally, he completed 2 Masters of Business Administration courses, maintaining a superb 4.0 grade point average. Ladies and gentlemen, our Team Osan Company Grade Officer of the Quarter.
It is our pleasure to introduce the Team Osan Guardsmen of the Quarter nominees.
From the 607th Support Squadron, Technical Sergeant Robert N. Abato.
From the 607th Support Squadron, Staff Sergeant Maria D. Castaneda.
And from the 6th Intelligence Squadron, Airman First Class Donovan T. Brumfield.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Team Osan nominees for the Guardsmen of the Quarter. Nominees, please be seated.
The winner of the Team Osan Guardsman of the Quarter is, from the 607th Support Squadron, Technical Sergeant Robert N. Abato.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure to present the nominees for the enlisted categories. Enlisted nominees met a face-to-face board comprised of 5 Army and Air Force senior non-commissioned officers. Each nominee reported to the board and recited their respective service creed, after which they answered 5 questions covering dress and appearance, current events, individual accomplishments, and enlisted force development. They were each graded on military bearing, dress and appearance, communication skills, and the subject knowledge in addition to their Air Force Form 1206 package. Basically, it was an intense process designed to identify Team Osan's best of the best. Ladies and gentlemen, the nominees for our junior enlisted category. From the 731st Air Mobility Squadron, Airman First Class Trandon C. Soul.
From the 51st Fighter Wing, Senior Airman Anna Pauline M. Magno.
From the 694th Intelligence, Surveillance, and Reconnaissance Group, Senior Airman Amber D. Devlin.
From the 5th Reconnaissance Squadron, Senior Airman Andrea C. Chilcott.
From Detachment 2, 18th Intelligence Squadron, Senior Airman Katie R. Grostefan.
And from 7th Air Force, Airman First Class Lance A. Humes.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Team Osan Junior Enlisted nominees. Nominees, please be seated.
The winner of the Team Osan Junior Enlisted Airman of the Quarter is, from the 51st Fighter Wing, Senior Airman Anna Pauline M. Magno. Senior Airman Magno is a Senior Airman Magno is a dental assistant with the 51st Fighter Wing Dental Squadron. During this period, she managed 10 schedules orchestrating 2,000 dental visits, which generated $1.2 million in revenue, resulting in PACAF's Dental Clinic of the Year for 2014 honors. Additionally, as president of the Dental Squadron Junior Enlisted Council, she led 4 PME forums, inspiring 11 future Air Force leaders. Finally, Senior Airman Magno finished biology and Korean courses, earning 8 credit hours in pursuit of her CCAF degree, while maintaining an awesome 4.0 grade point average. Ladies and gentlemen, our Team Osan Junior Enlisted Airman of the Quarter. From the 6th Intelligence Squadron, Technical Sergeant Kelly G. Anderson.
And from Detachment 2, 18th Intelligence Squadron, Staff Sergeant Jonathan D. Hill.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Team Osan Non-Commissioned Officer of the Quarter nominees. Nominees, please be seated.
The winner of the Team Osan Non-Commissioned Officer of the Quarter is, from the 51st Fighter Wing, Staff Sergeant Ann Mary Batista. Staff Sergeant Batista is the NCOIC of Dental Logistics for the 51st Fighter Wing Dental Squadron. During this period, she tracked and secured $4 million in assets while ensuring the treatment of 1,600 personnel, maintaining the Air Force's top wing dental ready rating at an impressive 99.7%. Additionally, she increased program awareness for domestic violence by performing skits and AFN radio interviews, educating 15,000 members. Finally, Staff Sergeant Batista completed her CCF degree and drove directly into her Bachelor's of Science degree in Health and Science, inspiring 34 other group medics. Ladies and gentlemen, our Team Osan NCO of the Quarter.
Team Osan Senior Non-Commissioned Officer of the Quarter. From the 731st Air Mobility Squadron, Master Sergeant Tara L. Lane.
From the 51st Fighter Wing, Master Sergeant Alfredo H. Benavides. From the 5th Reconnaissance Squadron, Master Sergeant Desdean L. Norton.
From the 6th Intelligence Squadron, Master Sergeant Elizabeth B. Freitas.
From the 7th Air Force, Master Sergeant Taraki L. Collins. And from Detachment 2, 18th Intelligence Squadron, Master Sergeant Cassandra L. Messersmith Lupson.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Team Osan Senior Non-Commissioned Officer of the Quarter nominees. Nominees, please be seated.
The winner of the Team Osan Senior Non-Commissioned Officer is, from the 51st Fighter Wing, Master Sergeant Alfredo H. Benavides. Master Sergeant Benavides is the 54th Fighter Wing's Ground Safety Manager. During this period, he tackled superintendent duties, expertly leading a team of 15 personnel tasked to support 55 units and 10,000 personnel and 45 aircraft. Additionally, he dual-hatted as the interim first sergeant, leading the charge in good order and discipline, while maintaining the mission-ready focus of 84 Wing Staff Agency personnel, assigned to 19 division sections, and additionally as a top 3 Education and Advancement Committee. He was the key to awarding scholarships for 3 airmen. Finally, he developed a construction safety symposium to reinforce occupational safety and health administration standards. The course impacted 90% fewer construction mishaps in calendar years 2014. Ladies and gentlemen, our Team Osan Senior NCO of the Quarter.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give our nominees and winners one more round of applause.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Burke and Chief Tucker. Lieutenant Colonel Burke, the floor is yours for your closing comments.
I first just want to thank everybody for coming out and to really recognize the best of the best out of Team Osan for all of our nominees and winners. I'd say when we get together for these Team Osan events, it's great to celebrate the accomplishments of these folks, because without their accomplishments and the thousands of others out there in Team Osan, we would not be able to accomplish our collective mission of defending South Korea. But I think of how successful we are at accomplishing that mission successfully. I really think of 3 different stories that come to mind that have happened really over the last about 9 months. The first one occurred in the squadron, in the 731st. We were preparing for one of the upcoming exercises, and a bunch of us were standing in the front office, and we were just discussing what are the scenarios, what was going to happen, really what was going to take place. And I looked up, and there were a couple of KNs that were involved in the conversation, and they're in the front office. And so I just quizzically asked them, so do you guys think about this on a day-to-day basis when you're home at family reunions and you know, tucking your kids in bed at night? Do you guys think about North Korea and the threat and what's going on? Well, the 2 of them thought about it for a minute, and they said, no, we really don't. They said, we think about it when you guys exercise, and we're here, you're putting on your mask, and you're exercising, and you're getting ready. We think about it then. But when we're home with our families and having fun on the weekends, no, it doesn't cross our mind at all. So I thought that was interesting and went on about my day. And one of the airmen that happened to overhear that whole conversation caught me later and said, "Hey sir, you remember that conversation that we had about the exercise?" I do. He says, "I really thought that was a great answer, and I was pretty proud of that." I had to think for a minute, what do you mean? What do you mean proud of that? What about that did you like? He said, "Sir, that makes me proud because it means I'm doing my job. If I'm here and I'm thinking about it and I'm worried about it, they don't have to worry about it when they're home with their families." Like, you know what? That's exactly right. So we're here worrying about it, they don't have to worry about it. The second story happened again after an exercise. So we've been playing Army for a week and dressing up in all of our battle rattle and kin gear. Thanks to Chief Green, wearing actual plates in the armor. So after this week of getting at it, we had an ALS graduation. So everybody's filtering out of the towers and coming across the street, and everybody's all dressed up in their mess dress and looking nice. I thought, wow, this is really juxtaposed what we just went through for the last week of really getting at it. So we're here in the E Club in the ballroom, and while this is going on, I caught Colonel Leonard, pulled him aside, and said, "Sir," I said, "this is just an observation I had about this being really juxtaposed." And he just looked at me and smiled, and he said, "This is what winning feels like." That's exactly right. This is what winning feels like. People call it the Chili's effect or many other things, but man, this is what winning feels like. We can dress up and go to ALS graduations. We can get together in rooms like this and celebrate the best of the best. We can go to Chili's, we can go downtown to Songtong and eat just about any kind of food that you want to eat down there. This is really what winning feels like. The third one that comes to mind is General Juhas's farewell. And if any of you got to attend that, I thought that was one of the best farewell speeches that I've heard from somebody. One of the things that he brought up was the 1941 State of the Union address that Roosevelt gave. And in there he defined 4 freedoms that he thinks that everybody in the world should have. And has really defined the way that we've had foreign policy go forward from then as well as the UN. Those are the freedom of speech, the freedom of religion, the freedom from want, and the freedom from fear. And as I think about that and what we have here in South Korea versus what they have up in North Korea, man, our folks are sleeping well at night. That they have that freedom from fear. Freedom from want, one of the largest economies in the world. There is no want, and if there is a want, it can be taken care of, and there's many organizations out there to do that. I mean, there's a church or a temple, I think, on every street corner here in South Korea. And then, the freedom of speech, sometimes that even gets us in trouble as the groups are trying to fly balloons over to North Korea and things like that. They absolutely have that freedom of speech. So let's look at those 3 events and say, yeah, this is what winning feels like. We are protecting those freedoms, and the South Koreans and their families can lay their head down at night and sleep. And that is because of the great accomplishments of not only the winners and the nominees we celebrated here, but that's the 5,000, 7,000 people we have here at Team Osan that are getting the job done. So just one more round of applause for all the nominees and for everybody out there.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Burke. Team Osan winners, please come back up to the stage for a photo opportunity and bring your hardware. This goes on the Facebook page.
Please give a round of applause to the supervisors who took the time to nominate these outstanding individuals. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us as we sing the Army and Air Force songs. The words to the Air Force and Army songs or on your chair and must be returned.